Okay, guys, it's Monday, early Monday for me. Today is my last day that I'm ever going to tell a story because I'm so terrible at it. So let's first start with Angie. Angie's a wonderful, wonderful person who I've had a few communications with. I'm going to be donating my last ETH to this story to Angie, and I'm going to stop doing it because I'm so terrible at it. The rest of my ETH that I'm donating is going to go to people that have like the POW chart sites and the sites that are created by independent users that actually have a lot of use. I think that would be the best place for my money to go in consideration, because these storytellings I'm not very good at, and I think way too much about them, and I'm worried about what everybody's going to think and whatever. Angie, she's a mother. Her son got her into it back in August, like most that we know of, but she's gone in really deep. She's more brainiac than most people. Big follower of Bitcoin Ben, although he's mainstream. He's really entertaining. He's kind of my age bracket. So is it, you know, Angie's really young, right? My age bracket. And I just want to say thanks for her sharing. I'm doing a terrible job of sharing why she's so wonderful, so this is why I'm going to stop doing that. Thanks, guys, for being so cool, and thank you, Mr. Whale, or Mrs. Whale, or Whale. Next piece of news, don't ever buy a bronze-rated power or PSU unit for your system. Weeks were lost on behalf of the fact that I was so clueless to the fact that I didn't buy a decent power unit, and that was where all my problems were coming from. After doing a ton of modding on the cards, reinstallations, many of them, and the drivers, forget about it, dude. Not even worth it. Considering, I mean, we're making very low volume on our P3D. This is worse. Mining is stupid. At least, you know, I love the proof of work concept, but the energy and, I don't know, I'm kind of leaning more towards proof of stake. Whatever, that being said, most importantly, let's get on to why you guys watch this channel. Why do you watch this channel? Because I come up with stupid, crazy ideas about like this. The crypto space is full of experts that have followers in the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and they follow the same narrative. Who's going to be the next Steve Jobs? Who's going to be the next Samsung? Who's going to be the leader? Who's going to take over and tell us, you know, like Google, who's going to be the next Google? Who's going to be the next Facebook? Who's going to be the next one to rob us? Who's going to be the next one to lead the sheep to where they need to go? It's disgusting, man. I saw this guy, Kung Fu hippie crypto retard. That's all I can describe him, when he's predicting Ripple at $250 and doesn't have the conception of considering $250 times the number of tokens and how much money is in the world. I mean, this is what we call leadership. And if anybody had half a clue that was in crypto before 2016, they'd realize the P3D is the definition of distributed, decentralized, consensus-based. I mean, we got people that are misinterpreting, people are using now the word governance instead of consensus. I mean, dude, there's like, those two words in the same sentence is oxymoronic. They're dichotomy, they're opposites. Governance and consensus is opposite. Anyways, that being said, I really think the best way to drive it home is if we take into consideration what I've experienced in my lifetime. I watched skateboarding and surfing. Surfing was around much longer than skateboarding, at least where I grew up. It's not longer, but was more significant, and more people thought it was cooler to surf. And I do believe that they probably came around at the same time, but the progression in surfing was much more extreme than skateboarding until about the 70s. 70s came along, we had pools that people would skate in, and then the freestyle skating. And because there's so much asphalt, skateboarding just never stopped. Even when it became out of favor in the late 80s, 90s and stuff, there were still people jamming it. And the progression of skills and talent and tricks kept going. But what happened, what I watched in surfing, because I was so much more of a beach bum, although I watched skateboarding too. You know, I got pictures of Tony Hawk when he was 12. The surfing industry experienced a kid named Nathan Fletcher, Little Ripper. Kid pulled off an air out of a wave and back in the 80s. Made the cover of Surfer magazine, Surfer or Surfing magazine. And then what happened? All the leaders came out and said, that's not surfing. What are you, crazy? That totally goes against everything that has to do with surfing, right? So for like 20 years, your Kelly Slaters, your Mark Richards, your Tom Kearns, all these branded boys came out and they started, you know, defining surfing. While all the rippers were like turning into skeg heads and being fingered as just lame people while they were doing things on waves that were totally unheard of. And not until just recently now do we actually take into consideration that there's points that can be made if you do an aerial. And this is what we're dealing with crypto. We have this small sect of fucking usurious, branded people that want to encapsulate the whole space. Jimmy Song, Tone Vase, many of the high-end YouTubers, even my favorite Crypto Daily. He's so entertaining, but constantly regurgitating the same kind of diatribe that people at CNBC use insofar as like, what's the best place for your money? No. What's the best place for the cocksuckers who make the money? What's the best place for me to put it? No, not the best place for me to put my money into them. Where's the best place for them to put it into me? Because I am worth way more than any of these cocksuckers, and so are you. So to listen to any of these, shepherds driving the sheep is a mistake. Again, at least there's a few thousand of us here who either acknowledge the game, the hand, whether it's weak or strong, or they acknowledge like the definitive things of what crypto and Satoshi and whoever it was, whatever it was, ultimately it comes down, nobody knows who discovered the written word or who invented it. But I'll tell you one thing, the written word changed humanity from stories being told around a campfire into records of history that have been totally manipulated. And now we have the blockchain. Imagine all of history if it had the blockchain since the written word. We would know everything that happened and we wouldn't have to believe any of the lies. We could interpret it ourselves. That's what the blockchain's about. But nobody's leaning towards that end, particularly companies like Ripple. You guys, we are the truth. We are the closest thing to any kind of crypto that is out there. And anybody with a brain, I challenge all of us to dare and to challenge, I challenge all of us to challenge everybody that's in the crypto space as to what defines crypto and what's the closest token coin, a place to put your belief in what crypto is. What is the truest definition of it? What is that? Because, completely honest with you, I can't see anything else but what I'm pretty much all in right now when it comes to crypto. So, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy. Sorry for the solemnness. Try to be more excited. Like, subscribe if you like it, if it's good for you. If it's not, be well. Thanks.